Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So over the last couple months, we have been watching Ripple expand rapidly. And it's not just in the US or in specific areas around the world. It is a global initiative. I mean, if you really think about what's been happening since 2022, Ripple has been making their name known in almost every single country in the world. The global expansion of Ripple and the Ripple network, in this case, Ripple payments, right, has been very impressive. I've been mentioning this. See, the main thing that a lot of people are getting wrong when it comes to Ripple is they immediately think that everything that Ripple does has XRP being adopted immediately. See, the thing about Ripple payments is that the clients or any player that is utilizing Ripple payments, they can choose to use XRP or not. For a while, there has always been scrutiny around utilizing XRP because the regulatory side is still not completely clear. Even now, even though XRP is cleared, there is still a few steps that need to be taken in order for XRP and Ripple to be completely unleashed, which is why we look at the institutional sales side. Now, that's the big thing that we're actually waiting for it to be completely done. But the main thing is that XRP, and this is the truth, it's not being utilized at scale as much as you are actually being led on to believe from most creators out there. And I'm not going to name names, but it's just a big issue in this space where a lot of people are making it seem as if XRP is being utilized to move trillions of dollars right now, when in all actuality, it's, just a few $billion. But I will say this, when we look at a lot of these announcements from Ripple, the path forward is pretty clear for XRP. We know everything that Ripple does has XRP in mind. We've heard this from all of the employees at Ripple, essentially, a lot of the key ones. But if we look at this announcement from February, we do see planting the Ripple flag in Portugal today with Unicambio, our first Portuguese client and country's leading currency exchange provider. Using Ripple payments, their corporate customers can now move funds near instantly between Portugal and also Brazil. Now, what's interesting about this is how big the Ripple name was already in Brazil, with Travelex Bank, for an example. There's also a few other major moves that Ripple has made around the Brazil market. Even prior to the Travelex Bank announcement, but not even a full month later, it's about like 2 weeks later, we got this announcement from Ripple as well, which was the fact that they were partnering with BDAX to expand institutional crypto custody in South Korea. Now, they also highlighted that they will use Ripple custody to provide secure infrastructure for XRP, RLUSD, and other crypto assets, supporting institutional adoption, XRP ledger developer growth, and Korea's evolving regulatory landscape. A major step in advancing the on-chain economy in the region. And then, in the beginning of March, we saw that Ripple was accelerating crypto adoption in Europe. Now, they did spotlight the launch of Ripple payments in Portugal with Unicambio, obviously, but it's bigger than that. Right? Because if we go into this, here we have the announcement of Unicambio, obviously, which, like I said, it's a big one. They also did mention Travelex Bank and Mercado Bitcoin. But here we have the Europe market being focused on. And this is where we look at DZ Bank, BBVA, and also Societe Generale's stablecoin, which is going to be launching on the XRP ledger this year. Do you notice something here that's pretty interesting? We're now starting to see those custody partnerships being focused on. But again, when we look at how big the network spans now, you have 90 payout markets. You now have 90% of the daily FX markets being covered as well. And like I said, $70 billion has been processed in terms of volume by Ripple payments. Again, this is a very small amount for XRP. This is why I say that we aren't seeing the scale yet of this. When things actually start to scale, that's when things gets very exciting. Like, that's when we start to see the big money movement happening, where instead of we're talking about billions, we're talking about trillions. And I do think that that all pertains back to like tokenization as well. That's a big driver around this, an accelerator of it. But now that we have the US market open, I think that that's going to be a game changer. But on top of this, right, we also saw another big announcement, which was only a few days later, which was the fact that Ripple has secured regulatory approval from the Dubai Financial Services Authority. And this was all about unlocking fully regulated cross-border payments in the UAE. This was all over the course of roughly 1 month for Ripple. But you might be asking and wondering, why am I bringing all of this back up? Well, it's because of this announcement here that just happened. Africa's payments landscape is evolving, and we are excited to be at the forefront of this journey. We've teamed up with Ripple to enable faster, more cost-effective cross-border payments in Africa using Ripple payments. See how this partnership is shaping the future of the cross-border payments market. Now, this is huge because of how big Chipper actually is. If we look at Chipper Cash's website, we can see 5 million plus users, 1 million plus virtual Visa Chipper cards issued, 6,000 plus US public companies to invest in, and 250,000 transactions per day. This is a massive giant, especially when you think about this in a whole year. I mean, it's 91.2 million transactions. But what's the value around those transactions? Because it's not just $1. This could easily amount to billions on top of billions of dollars worth of transactional value. But again, it's also the fact that the African market is now fully covered by Ripple. Why? Well, don't you remember Onafreak? Onafreak is also a Ripple partner. And when you look at the numbers behind Onafreak, they have 500 million connected mobile wallets, 1,700 cross-border payment corridors, 180 MNOs, MTOs, and banks connected, 470,000 enterprise and merchant customers, and 41 African nations in their network. This is the network of networks for Africa. And they're using Ripple payments. But even over here from Reese Merrick, who is the managing director of Middle East and Africa at Ripple, he said that today marks a key milestone for Ripple in Africa. Our new partnership with Chipper Cash app will enable faster, more affordable cross-border payments into Africa using Ripple payments. Together, we're driving economic growth and innovation across the continent through blockchain tech. Now, the announcement over here is very interesting because, again, we know that this is to support cross-border payments. We don't need to go over that, right? The main thing that we're focused on is the quotes here. Okay? Here we have the first quote, which was from Reese Merrick. I already did read this one, but it also continues. And that is, by integrating our technology into Chipper Cash's platform, we're enabling faster, more affordable cross-border payments while driving economic growth and innovation across the markets they serve. With over a decade of experience in tokenizing real-world assets, Ripple's journey began by bringing fiat currencies on-chain to simplify international money transfers. As the global cross-border payments market grows, more institutions like Chipper Cash are tapping into the transformative power of blockchain technology to drive efficiency and innovation. Crypto-enabled payments have the potential to enable greater financial inclusion, accelerate access to global markets, and empower businesses and individuals across Africa. Through integrating with Ripple's global payments network, we are excited to be able to harness the transformative potential of blockchain technology to enable consumers to receive payments faster and at a lower cost. This is very exciting. And of course, I do love the fact that they are mentioning Onafreak here, because that was a huge expansion from Ripple. And we got to think about the network here, right? Like, these are the partnerships that are fully announced with Ripple. This is not even talking about the partnerships that span to thousands of additional players. Like, for an example, like Owner Freak, like this is one partner of Ripple's. Now, why is that important? Well, it's because of the numbers behind it. Because technically speaking, tapping into the Owner Freak network with Ripple, you're now connected to 41 additional nations in that network. This is why we think about how much bigger the network actually is for Ripple. The network effects here are massive. And these are just a few of the announcements that have happened over the last month, roughly. I didn't even, mention the fact that we know Brad Garlinghouse did say that they are expanding and meeting with more, companies and players around the cross-border payment market than ever before, ever since the election. Now, that's US-based customers. So just imagine the names that have yet to be announced that are possibly working with Ripple right now. And Travelex Bank, this is still something to focus on because this is a bank that's approved by the Central Bank of Brazil. And they tapped in with Ripple. I think that this was back in 2022. This is just one of many customer stories. These are just a few of the moves made by Ripple over the last couple months. I mean, we could go all the way back to 2024 and just line everything up. There's probably, dozens of announcements from Ripple alone similar to this. And by the way, like I said, Chipper Cash is not some small time, app or anything. They have over 100,000 plus followers. They're an absolute giant. These partnerships, these announcements, even though you're still looking for it to affect the price, I want you guys to understand that you have to be a little bit of a visionary here. I understand that we're immediately looking at price action, but think about what's really going on here. We are starting to see the overall global financial system as a whole being affected in a massive way through a company like Ripple. These moves are telling us everything that we need to know about what's happening around Ripple and how fast Ripple is moving and growing and expanding. Ripple is becoming a global powerhouse around payments. They are becoming the internet of value. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.